Blast!
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes.
Bless. Oh, yes. Oh, bless. Yes. Oh, bless. Oh, bless.
Velvet and jazz.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Michael, Fergus, Danny's here. Got some good stuff. What's up, Tobias? David, bless, big bless. Paolo, big bless to you all. Woo. Going nuts over here. Tell me about it.
Big bless. Bless.
Bless. Hey, what's up, Ciara? Not sure how to say it, but bless you. Mike Chapman, you're getting a big bless. Aaron Partridge, you're getting a big calm bless. I bless you, Dawson. Bless you, Chase. Welcome all. What's up, Jason? Hey, big bless. Big bless to Jason. Love it. Bless you, Nick. Bless you, Keith William Saxon. Keith William Saxon, always holding it down in the stream. Love to see that. Love to see that kind of dedication, you know? Bless you, Max Wilson. Hey, does anybody have any friends named Devin? Let's get some Devins in here, huh? Zaki Tobacco. Whoa! Bless you, Bjorn. Let's get some Devins though, huh? Ooh, music change. Hey, what's up, Surreal Chemist? Yeah, the Twitch heads. Oh, Fergus, that's a big deal, you know? Because right now you got no reason to do anything at all. I mean, clean your couch cover or not, who cares? So it's good that you did. Bless you, Eris. Yeah, get the headlamps back. Please! Just please! Bless you, David Gutierrez. Bless you, Susan Saxon. Bless you, Jordan. Bless you, Donald. Bless you, Chris Copley. Big bless to Chris Copley. Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna be sending you your shirt. Well, I won't be sending it, but it'll come from the shirt printing place. Make sure I have your address though, okay? Because I'm not sure that I have it. So maybe send another message on the Patreon. And that's right, everybody. Whoa! Be jealous because I'm sending a free shirt to everybody on the Patreon today. And you missed out if you're watching this. I bless you, Johnny. Eventually I can figure out a thing for discount codes in the merch store for Patreon people. But then Chopo will have to pay a monthly fee to the t-shirt people fulfillment. And kind of the whole idea behind all of that was so that Chopo wouldn't end up with a bedroom full of shirts that nobody wants. So it kind of doesn't make sense to pay monthly for it, but, you know, whatever. Big bless to Robert Cripps.
Welcome, Ethel.
Big bless to Richard Nettleton. What if the whole stream was just this? Just blessing. Fergus, I was thinking about having a bumper sticker that says, "My other dwelling is a yurt." And that could be a lot of fun. Haven't found an effective way to do stickers yet, but I'm sure there is one out there somewhere. Lucy Lugless, big blast. But that would be funny. I think that'd be a funny bumper sticker. Who knew that in 2020 there'd be a global pandemic and Chopo would be in the bumper sticker business? Shit, Chopo just spilled some mead. Chopo's lap is doused with mead. Whoops. Ah, yes. My other yurt is a yurt, because I live in a yurt. Or, like, there's lots of possibilities. I was thinking of just printing a shirt that just was the wet yoga image. Just the whole thing, just in, like, maybe, like, in, like, 2 colors. You could just wear a meme. Like some kind of animal. Oh, Jason. Starting the keto diet. Ugh. Don't really know if there's any, recommendations for you that fits within that diet. No, Chopo's tried to do that low carb thing before. It was just awful. But Chopo's like almost vegan now, which is cool. Hold space for you, Jordan. And you know what, man, it's really not that hard to. Well, when you're not going to work and you're in full control of all of your consumption, being vegan isn't that hard. But if you have to go to a job, it gets way harder. Because you gotta, like, pack your food. I don't know. Hey, bless you, Jason. Big blast. I like how Jason just checks in, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can have bacon but no beer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, if it makes you healthier, then big bless. Just always gave Chopo, like, a headache. I don't know. It was weird. Ooh, haven't had the Impossible Whopper. Have had some Beyond Meat. It's pretty good. Chopo's in the UK. So, been having a lot of the Linda McCartney vegetarian stuff, and it's very good. Hey, sorry, Katie Jane.
I'll try not to spill the mead.
Yeah, the Linda McCartney stuff is good. Absolutely, Jason Wise. Stay blessed. Mine lap is doused. I think they cut off the vegan KFC. Pretty sure. I don't know if that's still going. Anyway, welcome. We're ready to start the show. And bless Scott Daniels' taint. Powerful taint. Smashed grapes on toast.
Wow. Never heard of that.
Cool, well, let's start off with something light. Okay, last week we got pretty dark with the channeling Robin Williams stuff. We'll not be repeating that, but let's get into something fun, huh?
Velvet Ant Jazz.
Bless you, Nick Rosebush. What's up, Mark? Ten more seconds. Nice. Velvet ants, the best pet invertebrates. Let's just watch the beginning of this again.
Velvet Ant Jazz.
It's good, huh? Velvet Ant Jazz. We're going to get into this guy later. This is Sorcerer Towel. We got a lot of videos coming from Sorcerer Towel later in the hour, but just wanted to start with this one because it's very good. This is your Sacred Scribe Tarot UFO sighting. I had 10 of them at once. I asked why, and Spirit tells us via oracle cards, all signs. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, this is your Sacred Scribe here. Now,
Turn
I
it
don't
up.
normally do
Crank it.
what I'm about to do. However, I have to tell you before I start the reading
Love you,
about
Lindsay Keegan.
my UFO experience I just had a couple of hours ago. So, I'm on the highway. This is broad daylight. I'm on the highway, okay, heading south on 95.
Ooh, 95.
I'm in Rhode Island. So this is around the Providence area.
Blessed
okay?
Ingmar.
All of a sudden, I see tiny UFOs, okay, about this big, in like a cluster. There's like 10 of them. And it's not a drone because I've seen drones before. They were
Okay, I'm
Tired of all these people telling me that it's just a drone. Okay? I know what a drone is. I see drones
Every day.
We all got one for Christmas 2 years ago. Okay? I know what a drone is.
just spherical. They look like, they actually look like pictures that I used to see as a kid, like in comic books, you know, the small disc, but it wasn't a disc. It was, you know, the picture that they showed me was Men in Black, you know, when they had that little tiny alien and they opened up the spaceship. That's what they showed me, right? So
It's a fun intersection of pop culture and what for any other person would have been a terrifying and life-changing event. Like, you remember in Men in Black?
it was 10. It could have even been more than 10. Literally, I'm driving my car.
Bless you, Tim.
At the side of
Bless
my
you,
window.
Margot.
They just flew right over the top of me. And people on the highway must have seen it. I don't know if it's going to be on the news tonight, so that'll be interesting to see if it is on the news, because I know others had to have seen it.
Probably not,
okay?
right.
Broad daylight. And they weren't even going fast. It was slow enough so you could actually see. I had a clear picture of them.
Spherical.
Crystal clear picture.
Didn't catch that.
Right?
That's good.
So I'm like, oh my God. So I look up on Google to see if any word on the sighting of these things, because I know if any of you have watched Marfugal News, I know that he
What?
mentioned
Bless you.
in states that there were certain people that saw these clusters. He said drones. I don't think they're drones. They do
Again, it was not a drone.
Not a drone.
So stop saying it was a drone.
not look like drones, not the drones that I've seen. They look like tiny ass spaceships. That's what they look like. And
They look like
Tiny ass spaceships. Okay?
what Marfugal was saying, that people were reporting these drones, that's what he said, and the military denied that it came from them.
Yeah, she kind of lost me here. I just want to hear more about the aliens. I don't know who Marfugal is. Would be really probably good to get into that, but I'm not sure.
A universal political sort of group of extraterrestrials that are checking the light quotient on Earth.
Oh.
Because the light quotient has to be at a certain level in order for ETs to descend and actually come forth.
The light
For
quotient.
human and well, I'd say human, but you know what I mean. For human contact, okay? So that's what they told me. They told me to use, I'm not using tarot,
Can we all bless Jason Karubia's keto diet just really quick?
using my crystal cards, okay? Which I normally just use to pick a couple during personal readings, and
Yeah,
then
well,
I
come on,
actually
let's
read
do
from
it.
the book. Now, I can channel the crystals, and I haven't done it in a while. They told me I needed to do it for this time. And they also told me I needed to do, to use my Nature's Whispers deck, which I haven't used in a long time, which is kind of funny because I took it out last.
You're going about your day and you just hear in your head,
Hey, use the Ancient Whispers deck. Okay?
that's what it's like to live this
last night,
life.
and I'm like, let me look at this deck. I put it at the side of my bed, and I never looked at it, but I had it out. So, and I'm also going to channel this. I won't read you what's in the little booklet.
Okay, so let's skip like way forward and see where this goes.
It matters. I got to see this.
No
I'm
glasses.
so freaking blind.
Well, glasses back. Okay. Bless.
4 to 3. 7, again, connection to the divine. Look at these pictures. Nature's Whispers, again.
Just don't know how you can have a UFO experience and then make a video like this. It's 45 minutes long and doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, let's talk to Kenny How Ken.
Let's talk to Kelly Hanner.
Let's talk to
Kelly.
Kelly has a new ebook out called Safe Travels, which discusses how to use magic mushrooms in a safe and effective way. But this is a warning, a stern warning about taking psychedelics from Kenny Hanner.
I recently journeyed on about a 3.5 gram dose of psilocybin that felt a lot more like a 5 gram dose. And
telling me.
during that journey, I had a lot of stuff come up. And one of the things that came up is something that I want to share with you guys. It was kind of an epiphany of sorts.
Ben! Get in here, Ben!
And I think it serves as a warning going forward with psychedelics and the decriminalization or legalization of psychedelics as well. Essentially, what came through for me is the idea that the powers that be, whoever they are,
Whoever
They are.
wouldn't exactly, I feel, allow for decriminalization of psilocybin, all different types of entheogens, if it didn't benefit the system in some way, shape, or form.
They wouldn't let you eat mushrooms unless they were getting some kind of kickback, man. Okay, man.
Now, you could call this a conspiracy theory, you could just call this a lunatic kind of idea, but to me, the writing's on
Hey, man, call me completely fucking bonkers, but this is what I think.
the wall. Because as you see, I mean, even though cannabis isn't legalized clear across the board federally yet here in the United States, more states have opened up to it, largely because a lot of politicians have their hands in the pot. They're finding ways in which they can benefit from the legalization in their states for cannabis. So
I don't know if that was a pun with the pot. With pot, legalizing pot, hand in the pot, cookie pot,
my idea during
cooking
this
pot,
journey
pass the duchy.
was
You know what
just
I'm
the
saying?
idea that in some way, shape, or form, they are going to benefit from our use of psychedelics.
Okay.
And as I tried to piece that together, what came through for me is
So she was on 3.5 grams of mushrooms when she was thinking about this.
the idea that there's going to be a lot of people experiencing psychedelics who don't have the guides, they don't have the guidebook, they don't have the experience, the know-how, people who have done psychedelics in a responsible way, to kind of show them the way, show them how to responsibly use psychedelics in a way that can provide.
I need the official guide, okay? There's no way you're going to find all of the extra heart pieces in Ocarina of Time without the guidebook, and this is the same deal.
Long-lasting, incredible change. And being that the case, what I foresee happening for some people who don't have the connections or the resources available to dose psilocybin or other entheogens responsibly, what we're going to see is people who are taking them and having
Mushrooms are keto friendly. Yeah!
bad trips, people who are taking them
Love that.
and just kind of like doing what they normally do, sitting on the couch, watching TV, using it as a way to escape instead of using it as a way to have therapy, using it as a way to peel back the layers of their ego and furthermore understand themselves, the trauma and everything they've ever been through in their life.
But how do they benefit? Come on.
So,
Come on, Kenny.
what I'm trying to say here is I really, throughout all of my videos, one of the core things that I hope comes across is that people use psychedelics in a responsible, mindful way. And certainly there's fun to be had by taking mushrooms and going to a concert or whatever. I get that. And I'm for that as well, but there also has to, in my opinion, if the world is going to change because of these things, we have to do it in a responsible way as well.
I think it only takes one mushroom trip to get the idea that it's not really something you want to goof around on.
To our brains and brainwash us with. Like I said, this could be a total conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah,
This
here we
could
go. This
sound
is
like
what I want. Come on.
already mumbo jumbo that isn't serving you and helping you to do the personal work to become a better human being. In fact, it's reinforcing fear. It's reinforcing social conditions.
Did you hear that chicken blast?
Already shit in general, you know, it's already mumbo jumbo that isn't serving you and helping you to do the personal work to become a better human being. In fact, it's reinforcing fear. It's reinforcing social.
You will have a bad trip if you got chicken sounds like that in the distance going on.
Conditioning and all kinds of different bullshit. But if you're watching that stuff, and if your idea of taking psilocybin is just watching TV and watching all this bullshit from your television, you're just further getting ingrained with all of the other
Yeah, let's take 5 grams of mushrooms and watch Tucker Carlson.
crap that they're trying to put into our brains and brainwash us with. Like I said, this could be a total conspiracy theory. This could sound like total bullshit, but I really think I'm onto something here. So what I'm trying to say here is I really encourage mindful use with psychedelics.
It only took you 6 minutes to get there. It's cool. It's cool. We like it. Bless you, Kenny. All right, so now let's start a series on selenite blades. And actually, I don't know if that's the best place to start. Let's start with this dude. He makes selenite blades. He has many great videos about them. His name is Tom Letter. Let's start with this short one.
Hello, my name is Tom Letter, and I'm the creator of Selenite Swords of Light. Selenite Swords of Light give off a very high frequency energy and also light, 5th dimensional light. This light and energy has a wonderful effect on activating and balancing the chakras, the meridians, the subtle bodies, and also the quantum field around the body. This energy has a very transformative effect on the physical energy matrix. Thank you.
Thank you. So, okay. Hey, Trent
Joseph.
Thanks for following, pal. Okay, so there's a couple of reasons we want to get into this. Number one, every video involves a person holding a sword, and that's just great. And then the other reason is because of all the stuff he just said, quantum fields and fifth dimensional light, and recorded on January 29th, 2013 using a flip video camera. That's all good too. If somebody could explain to Chopo why these things have to be swords, that would be excellent, because there's plenty of videos just about selenite as a healing crystal or whatever, and that's fun enough, but why a sword? Why a blade? It's unclear. It's unclear.
My name is Tom Letter, and I wanted to kind of give you what my story is of how I got to the position or the point to be making and training people how to use these light tools called selenite swords of light. When I grew up in the U.S. in a place called Bellaire, Ohio.
Oh.
And it was an industrial town, really. And the big thing for young guys my age was to play football. And that's pretty much what I...
So this, okay, so maybe this isn't
LOL.
material, but to Chopo, a man talking about playing football while holding a couple of swords with gems in them, and I don't know, he's got this like interesting collar situation going on. This is good. This is good stuff. This is worth getting into. And hey, big blast, Dr. Mommy. Okay, so people are saying it's a phallic thing. Monica's saying that it's a phallic thing, making it a sword. I mean, so it's, hey, what's up, Ali Bukowski? It's kind of, why wouldn't it be a sword, If you've got a powerful material, in a way, it is sort of makes sense to make it into a sword. That makes sense to Chopo. But yeah, just what an image. We'll listen to him. We'll check out some of his other stuff and some other stuff about selenite swords. But if you could just please appreciate the fact that this is an older man holding two swords, telling you about playing football as a boy.
The main thing I loved to do was play football, but it did turn out quite well. I was a very good football player and played through high school, and I received a college scholarship to play football, and then went on to do an assistant.
Went on to hold two swords on YouTube.
At a large university, but it was an unusual beginning in that really wasn't a lot about the light, wasn't a lot about meditation, but I got into I would say, the spiritual movement or starting to develop my spirituality in college when I saw a picture that had a picture of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who had...
Okay, so Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, that's the transcendental meditation guy. And again, just pay attention. Every once in a while, he's going to waggle a sword at you. It's pretty fun.
Was the individual that brought transcendental meditation out to the world. So I was in college, and right near the end of my football playing time, I saw this ad for a lecture. So I went and really liked what they said about what you could get from meditating. So I signed up and I went to the meditation class. And the first experience I had of learning to meditate, learning what they gave out in TM was a mantra. I had amazing experiences of transcending and going beyond all thought. And when I came out of that, probably about a 45-minute training spot on how to do that meditation, TM, I felt completely different. And that really started my kind of interest in meditation, and I continued to do transcendental meditation for the next 25 years, became a teacher of transcendental meditation.
And here I am holding two swords. Chopo actually just had an idea here. Forgive the Google, but just maybe, I don't know, if we could, you know what I mean? It's good. It's funny. It was on The Simpsons. It's funny.
And later, what happened was I got into crystals. A friend of mine was interested in, he made very high-end precious and semi-precious stones. He would cut them into gem quality jewelry. And I'd go over and watch him doing that. So I got kind of interested in this crystalline realm. And so I
There's
asked
an
him to
awful
give me a
noise
few
in the background of this
crystals
video.
at a local show he was going to, and he brought me back some Lemurian crystals. And when I held these crystals, it was...
And we all know about Lemurians, right? Ancient race, similar to Atlanteans. Yeah, they live underground Mount Shasta in a city of light called Telos. Sunken continent situation.
Quite palpable. They actually felt very strong, and it felt like a really great quality of love was coming through these crystals. So I was pretty excited that I could hold a crystal and actually feel its energy. And so
yeah, man.
I don't know if any of you have had the experience. Once you get one crystal, then you really want another crystal. And so I went to a gem show and kind of a metaphysical show in Denver, Colorado. And I picked up, I wanted to buy some more crystals. But as I was walking around this show, I saw a young lady working on a man's leg with a piece of selenite in the aisle. And, you know, she was in the aisle, so I figured I could ask her a question.
Just working them with some, with a knife.
I said, hey, what are you doing? And she said, I'm repairing an injury on the inside of this man's leg. And I said, well, how do you know that? And she said, I can see the light coming from this piece of selenite going into his leg, and I can see inside his leg.
It is funny to imagine, because typically these people aren't the most inquisitive, so it's fun to imagine someone, you know, you see someone with a sword like this, you know, poking somebody, and you say, well, how do you know?
I thought that was a really great kind of skill, so I got her name and I kept in touch with her, but that started me on my path to find, well, how can I work with this selenite? That seems pretty powerful. So I went around the show, I found a few pieces of selenite, and I said, well, I'll see if I can make something, shape it. Maybe that would make it stronger. I always like swords anyway. So I started...
I think that's really the core of it. I always liked swords.
to try to make a sword out of the pieces that I found. But it didn't work. They fell apart, basically. So I was kind of, for about 4 months, I was kind of dead in the water. I couldn't figure out how to do anything with the selenite.
4 months. I just couldn't figure out how to make this sword.
That I had found. But then my friend was at a rock shop up in Estes Park, and he said, he called me up, he said, I think I found a selenite that might work for what you want to do. So I said, well, hey, get that piece, and he brought it back, and it was the right kind of selenite. It was from Morocco, and that's what these swords of light are made from currently. So I told him to kind of bring it back, and I was able to make about 4 swords. I made four swords from the log he brought me. And at that time,
this guy's getting 4 swords per log.
I was studying with a spiritual teacher named Simon in the U.S., and she would have 1-week meditation courses up in the mountains in Colorado in Vail. So, and I was going to one of these courses, so I said, hey, she talks about energy a lot. I know she'd like one of these. So I decided to give her one, and I went to the course and went up to her room, and I handed her a sword, and she grabbed hold of it, and she says, oh, I remember this energy.
Yeah, you know, we got Margot in the chat saying, have been told I'm just not sensitive enough with regard to getting nothing from crystals. You know, Chopo has one crystal. It was given to Chopo by a friend. It's smoky quartz. It was given to Chopo by a friend named Ricky Crystals. And Ricky Crystals said, hey, what's up? How are you? Chopo said, I'm having trouble making decisions lately. And Ricky Crystals pulled a smoky quartz out of his pocket and said,
Here's smoky quartz. It's chill.
and that's the only crystal Chopo has, and it's nice. It's a good. It looks nice. Ricky Crystal's even made like a little like wrapped copper thing for it. It's like a necklace. Chopo still has it. That was years ago. Let's move on. We can save that video. That's actually a pretty good video. What an image we have here.
Hi, my name is Tom Letter, and I'm the creator of the selenite swords of light. And the selenite swords are basically, the main ingredient is the shaft of the sword, or the blade of the sword is made of selenite, which has some unbelievably powerful properties, which I feel gives it the title, the most powerful crystal on the planet. And what I've done with the selenite swords is I've also added
It's a tall order. That's a big claim there.
An alchemy blend of over 110 other power crystals into the handle of each sword, those being like azestolite, phenakite, brookite, merlinite, Lemurian crystals, Lemurian sand, Lemurian seed crystals.
He's holding them kind of high, isn't he? I mean, these can't be sharp. I guess it's a sword more metaphorically. More for the phallus, I suppose.
Celestite, elastral quartz, Herkimer diamonds, all these really multivite, all these powerful crystals that are in the earth. Also over 9 meteors and 9 volcanoes from around the planet are in the swords.
Wow.
And then in addition to that, I have added sacred waters from over 35 locations on earth, being like Mother Mary's Spring in Lourdes, France, the Ganges River, 9 locations, Lake Titicaca,
hey, bless.
Tipon, the water temple in Peru, Mount Shasta, Mount Fuji, Mount Koyasan, and also even Mount Kailash in Tibet at Lake Manasarova. So these waters carry a tremendous energy and also informational qualities.
You know, water information, water info. This has a funny moment in it. This is also from Tom Letter's YouTube channel. This is about cases available for your swords.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to explain a little bit about how I make the selenite sword cases, which I've been doing for about 3 years. I start with PVC piping. That's really hard and indestructible. You can't really do anything
You cannot break PVC.
Anything to it. And I pat it, and there's 2 pieces, so it ends up being like a clamshell.
It's a clamshell.
On the inside, it's actually a 2-part case. So this is the finished clamshell on the inside. I cover it in beautiful satin. And at the end where the tip goes, you can see a piece of rubber that I've glued on.
Rubber for your tip.
That way when the tip goes in first, it's touching the rubber and it's going to be really extra protected.
Listen, when you put your tip in the clamshell, you got to glue some rubber.
So this is the inner workings of the case. And then the outside of the case comes in 5 or 6 different colors. This is a burgundy, and I line the flap in satin, and I have beautiful leather ties. This one
it's like, imagine a cooking show where, like, so we get 25 grams of beautiful butter, and then we're gonna get 100 grams of beautiful flour. We're going to use a teaspoon of beautiful cinnamon.
Happens to be a silver leather tie.
Yeah, you got to oil. You got to get that
and so these
crude
protect your
oil.
swords, whether you're taking it with you in the car, in your purse.
This is the good part.
In your briefcase. You can take it with you on the airplane. However, it needs to be checked in your check bag. You will not be able to take it through with you on the airplane. And so this is another color.
When you want to take your swords on the airplane, the biggest barrier to that is actually the case that you keep your swords in.
That I have, it's like a peacock blue, And again, this is for a smaller sword. And all of the inserts can come out, although I don't advise that you take them out, but they are separate from the outer. And the other colors that I make these in is royal blue, fuchsia, purple, and teal, and I have a few left that are gold. And
nice.
These
just likes that airplane bit. Who doesn't like a good airplane bit? This video is called You Choose Your Parents and has 84 views. What could go wrong?
If you listen to the first aspect of where I am and where I came to, that's great. Now, when I explain to you some of the things that I've investigated on my own journey, and the first one was, do you choose your parents? An interesting one. And so, at the age of 29, after my big awakening, I decided to go and ask the question. And as a result, I was taken back before I was actually physically born in this world.
Wow! Man! Wow! I'm 29, back in time!
And I would have been 500 foot tall.
Okay, all right. We're 41 seconds in, all right? We've got a 29-year-old back before he was physically born, and he's 500 feet tall. 17 more minutes to go. That's tall order.
I was walking down the North Island of New Zealand. I came up to Auckland, to the north shore of Auckland. It's on the banks of the Waitemata harbour there. And with one step, I was over the other side at a place called Aoraki Bay.
Sydney Sharp, that's very funny, yes, yes.
And there I stood, looking down on this New Zealand house. And this New Zealand house was, in fact, my mother's parents' house. And then what actually happened, then I zoomed down until I became the 6 foot tall person I am today, 183 centimetres. And I opened.
It's always nice when somebody does the unit conversion for you.
The gate, and I walked up the path to come to the house. And the house in those days had front patios, and my mother's parents, that's my papa and my nana, came out of the house.
Yep.
And they brought with them rocking chairs. And not only did they sit in the rocking chairs, they went here in their pockets and they pulled out really modern sunglasses. And I say that with a bit of humour, because to have sunglasses back in the 50s, pretty different. But anyway, they were there. And my pop...
Funny joke, man.
Said to me, what program are you on? And then said, oh, when you come, can you turn down your light, please? Okay. So I now come back
okay.
in my body. So the next day, I go into meditation, and my journey takes me to now when I'm approximately 11 years old. And I was with my mum, and my mum, as they are, is a Saturday morning taxi for all the boys when we go off to play football. And we had a couple of boys in the car, and we decided, or mum decided, that she was going to pop in to see her parents, my pop and nan. And so it physically took place when I was 11 years old, but in my meditation at 29 years old, I came into that same time and space as an 11-year-old, and there's an expression that says, hi, we just put our head through the door. I don't know if you've heard that expression. It's about, they come unannounced. They don't make the phone calls. They don't send a postcard to say we're coming. We just pop their head in the door to say, hi, here you go.
All right, Paul, who do we think he's talking about? Is it
light beings?
Is it spirit guides? Is it
those are the
same things? Is it
UFOs?
Is it
the government?
Is it Pleiadians? Is it
Arcturians?
Is it Little Thursday Boy?
And so it just so happened that I put my head through the door. So spiritually, my head went through the door. Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about himself.
Put my head through the door.
Bummer.
And I looked there, and there's my Pop and Nan sitting at a table with a cup of tea all laid out with some biscuits and all that stuff, which is.
So this is a different meditation session?
Really quite remarkable, because that's how it sort of turned out when we physically came there all those years ago when I was 11 years old. But here I am spiritually, a 29-year-old, going back in time, putting my head through the door, and then telling them what program I was on.
Okay. I like how he leans forward like it is a literal door. He's 29. A 29-year-old just pokes his head into your reality. This is the program I'm on.
And so at 29, I then realized my program. And you'd be aware that I'm not telling you what that program is, because again, this is not a drive-through spiritual development. This is about you doing the work. And so if Dr. Ian...
This isn't about me, man. This is about you being 500 feet tall.
Ian Gordon, because he became a doctor, Ian Gordon, with Andronicus tapes, can mirror the scientific experiment that was taking place by Sir Jonathan Trevelyan and Parach over the Middle East. If that experiment can take place and be duplicated in the southern hemisphere, then my expression to you can be duplicated by saying...
Can somebody look that up? Kind of hard to understand what he said, but that sounds interesting. If somebody could maybe put in the chat what he said or what that's about.
To you, what program are you on? Yeah? Okay. So, I'm 29 years old. We now go into the third day. So the meditation comes into a point where I'm standing with this character beside me, and he's there and he says, "What do you see?" And I said, "I see a city." And he said, "Well, that's really interesting, but do you see anything more than a city?" I said, "Well, I see all these high-rise buildings." And he said, "I want you to take note of those buildings."
So a city again.
Yeah. So what we're looking at is we're seeing high-rises that are 3 stories, 5 stories, 10, 20, 40, 60 stories. Now you have to understand, we go back to those, we're back 30 odd years ago, you didn't see that many 60-story buildings. You know, you'd be lucky to see 38 or 40. But anyway, the point I'm making is we're moving into a time frame to give you an explanation of how information is given to you. And so we have a series of all these high-rise buildings. And he says, "Jeff, each one of those buildings is a particular subject of the overall program." Okay, so what program are you on is what my pop told me. Now we'll move.
Love that, his little, okay. Don't worry, we're not going to watch all of this, but this has actually kind of drawn me in. This is going somewhere, I don't know, maybe not fast enough, but we'll watch a little bit more and then we'll move on.
The situation where each one of those buildings is a field of speciality. Now, each one of those buildings might have 3 or 4
Big bless, Dave.
apartments to it. Yeah. Most people in Australia would call them units. So anyone who goes to university would understand that you go and do a year of learning a particular course that you're going.
Is this just like an aptitude test? Like you're going to be a garbage man or something?
Through, and you might do 3 or 4 subjects for the whole year, or units. And so what we're talking about is...
All right, let's do the classic move, skip way forward, see what's going on, and then we'll get out of here.
Young soul are ready to incarnate. Yeah. And what I've gone and done, and the imagery is very strong. Anyone who understands telephones and the telephone systems, where you bring in the major cable off the street into your business premises, and you then break up the major cable into pairs. Now, in telecommunications, there's a tool. It's called a chrome.
Okay, this kind of now is starting to feel like, you know, you talked to the wrong person at a wedding, and now you're never going to escape. Let's move on. Healing with selenite swords of light. Oh no, let's do this. How to cut energy vampire cords with selenite crystal. This is Contessa Miller. Have not checked out her channel much, but we should take a look because she seems to be very active. And
hi guys, it's me, Contessa. I love that you clicked that button and that I get to spend a few minutes with you.
I mean, what an introduction. I love that you clicked that button.
Today I want to go over energy vampires and how their energy can affect yours, making you tired and exhausted, frustrated, and absolutely to a brink of emotional upset and frustration. What are you going to do about it, right? It's kind of one of those things that is a little bit frustrating, with sometimes more than others, but right now we're in quarantine, which means we're in real close quarters in our house, and emotions are kind of stirred in that environment, as well as,
and as we've discussed, your dog can be an energy vampire.
Going outside. And I don't know if you're anything like me and you've been that empathic, sensitive person, this 6 feet away or people getting in your personal space is really triggering things for you. So today I have a beautiful crystal that I can't wait to bring out to share with you that is wonderful about cutting those cords to vampires.
Literally. Swords. This is good. Oh, nice. Oh.
Yes, all right, so this is an amazing day. I love this. I love working with crystals, and I know that they are energetic little powerhouses that are boss. I love that I'm addicted to crystals, and I love using them for healing.
I love that I'm addicted to crystals. Yeah.
I think that they are absolutely that perfect tool when working with energy vampires and cutting some serious cords. A lot of people will disagree with me in saying that cutting cords is not the thing to do, that you're supposed to do certain, like this and certain that. But you know what? This is what works for me. When I have somebody who's an energy vampire, and I mean somebody who's coming on in and making me exhausted and making me feel tired and not giving me the ability to say no when I really need to say no, and
yikes.
I'm taking up my time. What does that feel like to you when somebody is taking and robbing your time? And it's like they're, it's like that they're, like basically latching onto you, and that energy.
They love to find an opening
From them, it's like they are sucking you dry. It is like a leak, and it is so
I've never felt more like Michael Scott in my life.
Frustrating, because you can try to do your laundry or your dishes, and you can feel that energy being pulled, that emotion being pulled in that direction. So I had to find an awesome boss, powerful crystal that I thought was going to be super kick-ass, because this is something like, when you're dealing with your emotions and you're dealing with somebody taking your energy, like, I feel like doing it in a sense of love and light, and sealing your aura with love and light, and being something that would be that inner temple was necessary. Going within and seeing your shadow, or seeing all this stuff that goes on within yourself, that's powerful, that's important. Your energy is important. So having leaks, that's not fun, because you're trying to fill yourself up. You're, trying to do good and, be loving, right? I know that that's, right, something that you're doing.
Keep in mind, this is a woman just alone behind her apartment.
So, anyways, all right, so let's get out of the crystal. So I wanted to find, and this is my baby. I love that the crystal that I want.
The post-production on this is pretty good. She's got all these overlays. Yeah, wow, this is not bad.
What I find today was a selenite, because selenite, and I'm sure you can feel that love and light your way, because it's very powerful. So selenite's great about opening up those questions to yourself that your body is trying to tell you, so that you can release certain things, whatever.
Open up and release.
Excessive emotions, wherever that leak might be. So this could be something like somebody flipped around and flipped you the bird, and that energy cord connected with yours, and now you're still kind of pissed off. Well, that's still in your aura and possibly maybe in theirs or maybe not.
But you don't have a sword. It's just regular selenite. Come on.
So selenite, what's cool about it is seriously, mine actually, you know, I love those. They have handles to them. So feel around your crystal. Be very careful if you have one because they will shard off. But what I do is I'll sweep my head, and just close my eyes and
someone
work
flipped
my
me the
way
bird, so I
down
go
my
home and do
aura.
this.
So if you can relax on your end,
Oh, wow.
just take a big deep breath and feel with your, even with your hands if you don't have a selenite, and just feel yourself
Just do it with your hands.
clear out those cords with love and light.
Hey, bless
and
Michaelis.
brush it away. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. There's no problem with saying to no to appropriate requests for your time. If you are really working
She maybe should have done a second take of that.
on your inner self, just remember your light is going to be so bright to some, and they might really latch on to you, and it can be extremely difficult to let them go. If it's toxic, please let them go with love and light for their lessons.
With peace and love.
And thank them for any karmic stuff, and you can go ahead and release any karmic ties that you have with that person, place, or emotion. And we're gonna seal that all up with love. Super cool. I love it. All right, guys. So much love to this experience with you. I know that quarantine has really gotten my aura and my energy in a little bit more kinks and nakes and whatever. So I love that I got to sit with some crystals and
Remember, she's alone.
sit with you with some crystals. So if you have not found my Facebook group, I will put that link down below.
Facebook groups. Good link towards the next. I pulled up her YouTube. Maybe another day. Maybe another day we'll go to Contessa's Corner. We got more of our sword boy. Love him. Okay, this one's good too. But first, we're going to where we started, circling back to Sorcerer Tao.
There we go. Okay, so what you want to do is you start out in your chest, and you focus on the center of your chest, and you just imagine like a vortex, you know, like a spiraling energy. Just imagine it coming out, and then as it gets bigger, just imagine it getting bigger and bigger, and then it spreads out to your shoulders, and then you let it go down your arms, down your biceps, forearms, all the way down into your hands, and then you take the piece of selenite in both hands like this, and you just...
That was a prime opportunity for a magic trick, you know. You could have like slipped that somewhere and it's gone.
Just imagine that energy going from your hands into the selenite and then broadcasting out. And you want to imagine this like a bright white energy, and just push it out so that it makes a like bubble around you, a big orb of the energy around you, and then nothing is going to be able to get into you while you're doing that. And then if you want, once you've done this, you can actually then imagine the energy and direct it out. I'm going to direct a little bit just right through here.
I just seen something come from your hand, by the way.
That guy just said, I just seen something come from your hands, by the way.
And then you just want to pull it back in, and when you're done, imagine the energy going back into the rock, into the selenite, and sealing into it. That way it's not, you know, going shooting that energy everywhere, but is still operating. And then if you keep this on, in fact, now that I've done that, if you keep this on you, it should keep stuff away from you. But that's how you do it. You just got to imagine the energy going into you and then direct it out. It's all about the visualization. You want to, because like I said before,
Chopo's been to a couple barbecues like this.
we give things a form so that we can interact with them. And that's what you're doing here. You just imagine the energy into it to charge it, and then use a visualization to give it a form,
Okay.
and that will push the things away.
These stay charged all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's what I figured. And it charges other stones too.
Well, it has a very cleansing energy. It's more like a cleaner.
Oh,
There are stones that produce large amounts of energy, but that once it's charged, it will kind of stay there. So wherever you sit that, it's going to keep spirits away.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I got a bunch of stones. I'm gonna have to get a backpack and carry them home.
You got a bunch of them now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to place them all around the house.
You know, this is what YouTube is for. Just a peek into a different reality for a little bit. So this guy has his own channel. He has more subscribers than Chopo does on YouTube. Bless him, bless him. Sorcerer Tal, here we go.
Greetings, and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today, we are going to be discussing the skills of spellcraft, the first essay in the Sorcerer's Shadow, Volume 1, Edition 2. The first video in this list describes
I appreciate that so much.
the book and the chapters therein. This will be the first video covering the essays. There is an introduction before that, but I prefer to leave you with...
Just love the way this guy talks. There is an introduction before that.
The introduction to sorcery. I will leave the video to that there. And there will be several laws of sorcery that I am discussing in here. I have some other videos that I will link you to when we get to those, if you want to listen to more in depth on the particular laws.
Hey, real quick to the comments. Somebody asked, have you been to Nevada City? Yes. Chopo went to Nevada City to see a screening of the documentary about the Source family cult. It was playing there for some reason, so Chopo and a friend drove out to Nevada City to watch it there in a small movie theater where the where the owner or just someone who worked there got up in front of the screen and announced to everyone what movies were going to be playing next week and at what times. Manually, an analog announcement. And it was great. Nevada City's beautiful. Really fun little town. Yeah, it was really great. Let's go to another one of this guy's videos. This is art.
Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today on Sorcerer's Shadow, Volume 1.
Very curious about the Sorcerers Guild Facebook group.
We are going to be discussing the essay titled The Importance of Reputation. This particular essay will not fit in the description portion of this post, so I will be leaving a link to a Google Docs copy of the essay in the description portion of this post, along with an Amazon link to where you can purchase a copy of the Sorcerer's Shadow Volume 1 through Amazon, should you so choose. Okay, so the importance of reputation.
Okay, yeah. So this is establishing rapport with spirits. Let's go a little bit into this.
This is the final collaborative essay in this volume, and it is a collaborative essay by Mitch Moon, S. Ray Knight, myself, Sorcerer Tal, Garland Headley, Ted Joy, and Raven Nagisa. Okay, when dealing with ghosts, spirits, demons, and any other type of self-aware entity, one aspect that many practitioners fail,
cats, dogs, etc.,
to take into consideration is the importance of reputation. Now, looking back on it, I feel it may have been more explanatory for me to use the word rapport. Yeah? Now, reputation is part of it because spirits do tend to communicate with one another. Word actually does spread on the astral plane. But more to the point, you want to develop a situation of trust with these spirits, with a personal relationship.
Want to have a relationship with ghosts. That's why I got into sorcery.
Any type of warlike spirit. Even then, you don't necessarily want to banish every time, but they might actually find it kind of disrespectful if you don't at least have a weapon on you, at least what they consider a weapon.
And this is why the Second Amendment is so important, guys.
Selenite rod, brass bell, things of that nature. Things that you could push the spirit out of the room easily if they chose to try to harm you.
Scroll down, scroll down.
Okay, so let's see, is there anything that I missed on the essay real quick?
Love that silence.
Like as I said, the more often you act with fear or disrespect, the more necessary it will be to have protections when you work with spirits. On the other hand, if you were kind and friendly to spirits, you were likely to need little to no protection at all after.
This guy's like a Kyle Mooney character. It's really fun. This is a video of him walking around.
And welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal.
Wow.
You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today, we're actually going on a walk through my neighborhood. There's going to be a better area of it later. But in some of my videos, when I talk about the fairies,
right,
I mention rose bushes or brambles. And now this is a perfect example of a bramble.
Any guesses where this is? Chopo has never seen vegetation like
giant,
this.
Overgrown wild rose bush here with all the thorns. But it's also got pretty flowers and it smells good. And there's literally a lot of hidden structure, places where a fairy could hide. Like I said, I talk about brambles and wild.
Pretty fun stuff.
Or like, a lot of your modern day gods, quote unquote gods. You can't just believe them into doing what you want them to. They are independent. Okay, so we're past the bramble bush. That's all I've really got to say. Thank you once again for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to my channel,
big bless, big bless, big bless. This guy is a lot of fun. Let's check him out.
Hello, this is James Ray. I'm here to talk about a channeling stone. I was asked a question based on a video that I posted about a week ago about different channeling stones. In that video, I talked about danbarite, an angelic channeling stone.
Nice.
So today, I'm going to talk about selenite. Let me get it in the light. Kind of hard to do here. This is a large piece of selenite.
Whoa!
This is a smaller piece of selenite.
Get this boy a sword.
Is not, his size doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter at all, said the short man. But the size of the
I like a little bit of comedy in my selenite
stone
videos.
is less important, especially when you are holding an intention. It's really just about your focus. So if you have strong focus, you'll have to spend less money on stones.
Man, my stone budget is out of control, but I just don't have enough focus.
So hone that focus. But back to selenite. I'm really getting off topic. Maybe it's all the crystals that I'm holding. But selenite.
Yeah, they'll do that, man. Yeah, Chopo didn't do too good in school, holding too many stones, couldn't focus on the quadratic equation, you know what I'm saying?
Selenite is great for use as a channeling stone, and I'm going to tell you why. Selenite has the ability to clear the entire chakra column. It connects to all of the chakras, especially the higher.
God, this lighting, this camera angle, all of it, it's just this is very confrontational, James.
Kind of say like up here. And because of this, when you're channeling, you're pulling your energy, or you're allowing the energy to flow downward, and you're expressing it through your throat chakra. And for some people, they're seeing things, so the third eye is also very important. Selenite is, I'm going to say traditionally, I love the world we're living in that I can say stones are traditionally used for. Selenite is traditionally used for
very self-aware, James.
For clearing spaces or energy. It's really good to use as a wand. If you're doing energy work or healing, you just kind of move around someone, It's
now, hey, Chopo's not an expert in selenite, but it looks like you're holding that by the blade, buddy.
To pull energy hooks out, or to just kind of wave around and clear the air. Hello, hello. It's like a selenite windshield wiper.
Hello, hello.
Which actually wouldn't work because selenite is so soft that if it gets wet, it actually begins to dissolve. So don't...
He's talking literally. You should not use this as a windshield wiper. It will dissolve.
Get your selenite wet.
Well, we got to go back a couple seconds to hear that full statement. That was pretty good.
Selenite is so soft that if it gets wet, it actually begins to dissolve. So don't get your selenite wet. Selenite also is traditionally used as a stone that creates synergy between other stones. Not all stones can communicate with each other. Same way not all human beings can communicate with each other. Not all ideas can gel. But the different vibrations of the stones are brought together and kind of synchronized and also made stronger by selenite. So selenite used with other channeling stones can create a very vivid channeling experience.
Right, yes. Not a good windshield wiper, but a great sword.
Eyes closed or eyes open. Ask the selenite to assist in clearing any ideas, thoughts, beliefs that may get in the way of channeling whatever it is that you're looking to speak to or speak for. I highly recommend, I actually advise you that in your
Okay, all right, yeah, not just a recommendation, but advising.
Channeling experience, you just look to speak to your higher self or your spirit guides.
Bless
out!
Adam.
Venturing off into the astral planes. If you don't know what that is, maybe you Google that right now. ASTRAL. Astral.
I like this guy.
Planes and looking for things. This is just a bad idea. It's like going to a random bar in a city you haven't been to, looking for someone to hang out with or meet. You're likely to hook up with something that you don't want to be involved with.
Okay. Maybe speaking from some experience or something here.
Selenite will really assist in keeping you open and keeping you clear. So
bless Fabricio.
That's the way that selenite can be used as a channeling stone. And I will say that having such a large piece for channeling might not be a great idea because it's highly stimulating and it makes the mind just flap all over the place, as you have seen in this video. But this is the second stone, danbarite and selenite. There are a few more I'm going to make videos about for channeling stones.
Wow.
Also, I'm giving you a peace sign, which is like really cool of me, traditionally used to symbolize peace. I hope you have a wonderful day.
That was nice at the end. A little joke there. Oh, maybe actually let's go back and see if there's any comments.
Hello, this is James Ray.
If those will load. Library, internet, not doing great. Okay, yeah, we'll go back to his channel. Only a few videos. This is a deep cut. Now this is what Chopo does for you, okay? You would never have found this, okay? Just kidding. It's not really a very good service, but this is a deep YouTube. Deep YouTube is something that Chopo is actually very passionate about. So, you know, this is good. This is good stuff. This is what YouTube is for. YouTube isn't for sponsorships. It's for James Ray to tell you about selenite. I mean, let's just get into a little more James Ray.
Hello, this is James Ray. I'm here to talk a little bit about self-awareness and like awakening.
This looks like the same evening he recorded this. Let's skip forward and just see if he's going nuts.
To be in that chooser role. You can't choose unless you observe. But honestly, these same things can happen just simply through looking at yourself. What do any of these substances allow?
This is what Chopo sounds like talking to himself in the shower. For real. Cool. Well, yeah, that about wraps it up. I think that was a pretty good one. Got some deep YouTube for you. Yeah, Chopo made some shirt designs. Let's plug that, huh? Curious to hear thoughts on those. Old space for my tribe. Yeah, that's right. Store envy. Okay. It's pretty cool. These phone cases are kind of a joke. They're very expensive, and Chopo would only get like $4 if you buy one. So don't take that too seriously. But yeah, the other stuff is good. Chopo bought one of these shirts because this is one of these things where it's like print to order, you know? So these shirts don't exist yet until you order one. That's why they cost as much as they do. So it's a whole thing. Hey, bless everybody. But Chopo just figure this is a way to avoid having a big box of t-shirts that are never going to get sold. So, yeah, it's just going to happen. They look pretty good. I mean, that's oh yeah, not this one, but this is just a Chopo really liked this design. Chopo going to buy one. Chopo going to make more designs eventually, but just wanted to get this up and running, and Chopo love these designs. These are great. Maybe we'll do some stickers at some point. It's really just it's a fun thing to have these out in the world. I mean, part. Okay, so
now get this. All right, now just understand this.
Now, part of why this is fun is imagine that when we're all allowed to be back out in the world again, you're out in the world and you see somebody wearing this shirt, and now you have a new friend. That's the idea behind this. You know. Chopo gets about $7 if somebody buys a shirt, which is not much. Chopo looked around for a while to see what other people use. There's like this site called Bonfire, and there's all these other ones. And most people are selling their shirts for like $25, and that seems insane. But that's the only way to make like $10 or more per shirt. But it's nobody wants to pay that much for a shirt. That's insane. Just don't do that. But yeah, so stickers. There's plenty of other types of shirts we can add with these designs, hoodies and stuff, and whatever. We can do all that. That's all good and fun. Yeah, so just wanted to make that clear that we have those. I mean, the Bless shirt, it's good. It's so good. So if you buy one of those, hey, big bless. If you don't,
equally
big bless. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Chopo love it. So big bless to everybody. Dave, that's a big bless. Big bless. Yeah, if you just want to donate 15 and get no shirt, that's great. Yes, Jason, we can make a mask. The traditional masks wouldn't have a design on them, which is kind of lame, but we can do the neck gaiter things. Have you seen those? It's just like a sleeve for your neck. We can do those. I can put that up later. And so we can do it. Big blast,
Monica.
So there's all kinds of stuff with that. Chopo also had the idea today of doing an additional stream on Fridays that is, hey, big blast, Danny. An additional stream on Fridays, only on Twitch, that is more tutorial-based 3D stuff, techniques. Because a little behind the scenes, Chopo Chopo is a video editor for work, so we can get into some of that stuff. And then we also, Chopo gonna show you what's going on, next videos. Nope, that's not working. We changed the path. Chopo's working on another video, hoping that it'll be pretty quick video. Yeah, so hopefully, it doesn't take too long to make it. But we'll see. Anyway. Yes, this is what we wanted. The next video based on your favorite podcaster. So that's pretty fun. Chopo spent some time trying to match his body. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks a little bit like him. Close enough anyway. And then he, of course, is going to have to deal with some elves and stuff. Yeah. Oh, the Twitch is hold space for my tribe. I think you will be able to find it. It's linked somewhere on the Facebook. It's Twitch TV/hold space for my tribe. Yeah. Blender tutorials. People want Blender tutorials, so that's what I'm thinking the Friday will be. Because there is, Chopo knows stuff about Blender that we can get into. Chopo also just got into like this whole generative art thing with code, just trying to learn how to do that during the quarantine. Gotta learn something. You gotta learn something. But yeah, so we can get into some like real nerdy stuff. But I'm thinking that'll just be a Twitch thing, because not everybody on Facebook is into that. And Blender's free, so people want to learn it, and that's cool. Workflow. Yeah, well, right, Jason. So you're working on a documentary, Chopo saw. And that's that's so much work. And if it's just you, workflow is kind of about you, not so much other people. But if you're going to send it for like color and sound and all that, that's a whole thing for workflow. But yeah, we can get into that. But really, it would just be fun to like maybe, I don't know, yeah, like Friday. I don't know. We'll have to see what time people want to do it, but maybe like Friday mornings, just like work for a little bit, and we can get into making some stuff. Yeah, I'm guessing you're working with an unimaginable amount of footage. Not sure I can help with that. But we get into some of that. Hey, big bless to the big Dragon Daddy. And then also there are plans for a little Thursday Boy stream. At some point. Not totally sure when. But that'll be different. That'll be more just like hanging out with little Thursday Boy, I think. Which, who doesn't want to do that? So, okay. Big bless!